but somehow he would steal chickens in town.
What?
And he would keep them in his backyard.
Stop.
Yes, and then he would pay me to sell the eggs on Craigslist.
What?
Yes, so
You were selling black market chicken eggs.
yes. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to
Welcome to another episode of Lunchtime with Smosh.
That's the intro.
That's the intro.
Hello. You're listening to Ian.
Do we need to introduce ourselves?
Yeah,
now?
you have to introduce yourself every single time because you never know. Like somebody might have just stumbled across this on Spotify. And
Just audio.
went, what the heck is Smosh? And then they turned it on and they're like, well, I got to find out who these little fuckers are.
So that was Ian speaking. This is Antoine speaking. I'm trying out a new name.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Am I allowed to?
Yeah,
Speak.
go for it.
Yeah.
I'm Erin.
Hey.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Can I give you guys your food?
Yeah, this is Lunchtime with Smosh. And if this is somebody's first time ever listening to Lunchtime with Smosh, they're like, oh, I get it now. Lunchtime with Smosh. I don't know what a Smosh is yet, but there's lunch.
That's true.
I don't know why this person's like 80.
yeah.
All right.
And they have
Let's-
something.
Today we're talking about crimes that we have committed and sometimes gotten away with and sometimes been persecuted to the furthest extent of the law.
Run-ins with the law.
Run-ins with the law.
So in theme, I got you guys foods that I think should be illegal to gift someone.
Oh no.
So you're doing something illegal. So you're doing something you think should be illegal right now.
I'm gonna guess like a loose sack of pudding. What do you think?
I think it's just, I think it's definitely loose, like unwrapped, something that should
I
be.
want to do both at the same time. Look away for a second.
I'm used to looking away from Erin.
I think it's something that's going to be just like gross to like have on a spoon, just raw or something.
Do you think it's gonna be like in a sandwich bag, like something that's in a sandwich bag?
She
that
said it
shouldn't
smells
be in a
bad, so I think that it's not in like.
So this is going to be a 3-course meal.
Oh, great.
This is the first item.
Okay.
Those are for you guys.
I did call it. I did say it was going to be in a sandwich
You
bag.
did call it. This
is so gross.
Those are vegan doggies in a bag.
vegan dogs, vegan hot dogs.
Like just without any kind of condiment.
Well, hold on.
Oh,
Okay. The next
okay,
one.
so she's reaching into her bag for more things.
Are you describing this for the?
Yeah,
audio
for the
listeners?
audio listeners. For
Next one is,
Ew! What the f is that?
those are beans.
okay,
A
that's
bag
wants
of
to catch 'em?
beans?
I'm not going to throw this
I
one.
don't.
That's
wanna-
gonna explode on.
Wait, I have one for Ian too.
Oh no!
Wait, hold on. Are those baked beans or what?
These were, I don't know what kind of beans they are, but they are vegan.
This reminds me of the shit we used to get on Mealtime with Smosh.
Yeah,
Just
for
like
real.
just random food in a bag.
Your beans.
Oh, thanks, because we have to each have an individual bag of beans.
Yeah, because I'm gonna finish this, and Ian's gonna be needing his own serving.
And then to top it all off,
It does feel kind of nice to hold in my hand because it's kind of cold, you know? It's kind of nice. It's like a little stress ball
Oh, that is nice.
with beans.
and then to top off your chili dog,
Okay.
we have some vegan cheese.
Oh.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Is this
All right.
is this like queso? This actually looks like the good kind of cheese dipped.
I
in
feel like
chips.
we're going to get demonetized for this. This all looks so gross.
Dig in, guys. Eat it.
I don't want to.
Not even the hot dog? Just like a little nibble?
I mean, I will for like the sake of content, but I'm going to tell you right now, Erin, I'm not going to. Oh, no. I dropped my beans.
Beans down.
I'm gonna put the mic down in order to open this up, and in order to get the mic away from my mouth as I put.
Just hold it between your legs like this. You're used to this. I know you're used to this, Anthony.
Why would you say that? What did I ever do that makes you think that?
Okay, I gotta open up each individual. Man, I chose a
Oh.
bad day to wear
I-
clothes that I like.
I will say this is better than a standard meat hot dog in a bag, though.
Okay, but like this vegan cheese, I'm sorry, like this does not look like cheese.
Let me smell it. I don't want to open mine.
That's what I was getting whiffs of. This whole intro, I'm just sitting here.
Fucking bad.
I mean, like, it's not that it's like, once you like understand what it is, it's not like that bad. But the initial smell is not what you would expect because it doesn't smell like nachos.
It looks like that canned like Tostitos.
Yeah, it does look
cheese.
like that.
That's what it looks
well,
like.
kind of, but then like.
Oh my God, you're gonna dip the dog. You're gonna dip the dog in it.
I'm gonna dip the.
I'm gonna throw up.
I'm gonna dip the dog in it.
I don't even want to touch it.
Oh my God.
Oh, this
Oh
looks.
my God.
We're gonna get demonetized.
Ew, and my hot dog touched the couch, but it's okay.
All right, let's hear it. First bite.
No. No.
Bro.
No.
What about the beans? You gotta get the beans.
I guess I'll dip it in the beans. Oh, that looks so nasty. Why are my eyes watering? That's not right. Lunchtime with Smosh was about eating delicious foods.
Yeah, I'm not excited for this.
Okay, we would say first bite.
It's
'cause we were
on
excited.
theme. Foods that should be illegal.
No, that's fair.
Did you see what I did there? Ew. The way you're dipping that hot dog in the beans.
Did you just raw dog it? You said it raw.
No, I dipped it in
All
the
right, now I'm gonna dip my.
This should not be as gross as it is. Like,
Is it gross or is it good?
All right, I'm gonna try it with the cheese and the bean sauce.
I feel like if it was warm, it would be good. Because that's just a chili cheese dog without the bun.
I'll have to end it here. Okay, Erin. Well, that was cursed. That was
Welcome.
super.
Did you
cursed.
enjoy that?
thank you.
I didn't enjoy it.
I
Not
do
one
agree
bit.
that you did something illegal now.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we got it on camera.
We did.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
Great.
cool. So now that my stomach is a little weak and my eyes are watery, I guess we can get to it.
That was not what I expected.
You're welcome.
You're full of surprises.
Thank you.
This podcast is just the gift that keeps on giving.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you
Here
for
to
that.
serve, you know?
So
All right.
we're talking about unlawful behavior.
Breaking them laws, the laws of the land.
Ian, as I'm aware,
Uh-huh.
you've broken more laws than I have. You've had more run-ins with the law.
Apparently, I mean, I didn't really think myself a criminal, but in my 36 years on this planet, I've committed a lot of crimes.
No, you've been caught committing a lot of crime.
Well, not all of them I was caught for.
Oh, so you're admitting to crimes on this podcast.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure like statute of limitations.
What does that actually mean? I
That
feel
means
I
like
should know.
after depending on the crime, like after a certain amount of years, you can't be.
Oh, okay.
You can't be charged for that crime.
What's the number of years?
It depends on the crime.
How
Oh,
long
what?
is it for
So
homicide?
like, I think homicide does not have a statute of limitations.
Okay.
Because it would be kind of
This
messed up.
video
If, like,
is not
you
gonna
murdered
see
someone, you're
the
like,
light
you
of
wait
day.
20 years, and you're like, by the way, I killed that guy. Ha 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 ha.
Didn't the Zodiac killer do that?
No, I just think no.
Oh, okay.
But there are other like heinous crimes that do have statutes of limitations.
Got
that
it.
are like, oh, I don't know if we should just let people get away with that after some time.
Fair. I
But we
feel
don't
like
have to talk about it here because
no,
that would be a downer.
that would be so.
I mean,
sad.
that is my
That is
area
very
of
you.
expertise.
Yeah, do you want to
for
look
you.
up all the laws with statute of limitations that are less than 10 years?
I think it also depends on the state too.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like all the crimes you guys submitted today aren't that bad. I don't think you're going to get arrested after this.
No, I don't think any of them. I don't think any of the crimes I've ever committed were anywhere near like a felony.
That's good.
They're all misdemeanor crimes. They're like little crimes as like a treat.
Okay.
You know, they're little treat crimes.
Okay.
Thinking about all the software that I pirated as a kid, and that might be a felony.
You wouldn't steal a car.
But would you duplicate it?
That's true.
Maybe.
They never. That's true. All those ads. See, you don't know this ad.
Yeah.
But in the early 2000s, there was this ad that they would play before movies.
Yeah.
And it was to try to keep people from. It was trying to dissuade people from pirating
I
movies.
was trying to guilt them.
And they're like, you wouldn't steal a car. And it was like in this like edgy font trying to make it look really cool for teens. And they're like, piracy is illegal. And they were trying to like compare stealing a car to downloading a song.
Wow.
And I'd be like,
Oh, I see why you told that joke like 5 seconds ago now.
Now you see.
yeah, and I'd be
makes
like,
sense.
would I duplicate that car? Yes.
Yeah,
be hard.
duplicating a car doesn't harm anybody.
How would you duplicate a car?
Except for the shareholders.
Well, I'm saying theoretically, that's what I'm doing with the song.
Got it.
yeah.
Have you guys seen that iCarly episode about piracy?
No, how did it go?
Well, there's this dude who's selling pirated videos, but then like they find out it's just videos of him like being a pirate. You had to be there. Anthony's laughing.
It's so
That's
dumb.
literally a sketch. You
At what point? At what point in?
Don't
at what
act like
point-
you wouldn't write
at
that.
what
That
point
was
in-
an old Smosh sketch, I'm sure.
Yeah. At what point in that episode did we see his feet?
Oh, I see what you're doing there now.
I got it.
Probably immediately, because pirates. Why would they have shoes?
That's true.
Oh no, but
One's
that was a
peg.
grown man, so we don't see grown men's feet.
Oh, he only showed children's feet in that
yeah,
show.
typically.
Ian, remember when I pirated an album and then sold you it?
What?
I pirated an album and then charged Ian for a copy
Look,
of the
I was
CD.
okay. I was okay with that
Overcharged his rent.
because it was cheaper that way.
I charged
It
you
could have been
$5.
free. Ian.
Yeah,
it could have been
$5, sure.
free
I charged
for
you
a
$5.
song.
No, for a full
I mean,
album.
he had to burn it onto a CD. CDs
Yeah.
cost money,
Right.
Yeah.
you know.
Time.
Wow.
And it was
small
like-
business.
Resources.
And I mean, if I had to go to Tower Records and buy Breaking
Tower
Benjamin,
Records.
you know, yeah.
You ever heard of that place?
You used to physically buy music.
You're talking about humanity or just us?
We can move on.
What was the first CD they? No, it was Eminem, wasn't it?
No. Are you talking about the first CD I bought or
What was the first CD that you bought?
The first CD I bought was Aqua.
Dude, that's
Like
so
Barbie
sick.
Girl.
Barbie Girl.
That's so funny.
Yeah, dude, I was 12.
That's crazy.
And then the
But did you
first
buy a cassette first?
No, it was CD. I had a CD
Okay.
player. But it would skip all the time when I was listening to it in the car. You'd go over the smallest bump and it
Oh
would
yeah.
skip.
Mm-hmm.
The first song I downloaded illegally
Mm-hmm.
was Baha Men Who Let the Dogs Out.
Oh.
How old were
Yeah. And Oops, I Did It Again, same night.
you? Were you an adult at this point?
12.
Oh, okay.
I felt like an adult, though.
Yeah.
Pretty bad at like
You know how to
breaking the law.
illegally download music at 12?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
that's
a,
pretty
he was
impressive.
a computer whiz.
Oh, that's right. I forget.
yeah.
99, man. It was a good
I
time.
Also, it
was
pretty,
one.
It was pretty easy.
You were
There was-
one.
I was 1 year old.
All
when
you had to do was
pirating music.
download like Kazaa,
Napster.
Kazaa.
Napster, yeah, or LimeWire.
Oh, I know that one. That's where I used to download music.
Kazaa?
No, LimeWire.
Oh.
I've been in these
I
streets.
downloaded my pirating software off of a pirating website.
What?
Like there was like I remember there was like a different version of Kazaa. There's like Kazaa Lite K
Kazaa
plus
Lite
plus.
Yeah. I remember that.
And it was like a premium version, but I think I just downloaded it off of a pirating website. I'm like, hey, it's fair.
He
Like, if
downloaded
they're-
the piracy software off of a piracy website.
Yeah.
We're trying to charge.
because you had to pay
The
for the
layers.
piracy.
Privacy
You had to
stuff.
pay for the pirating software.
Yeah.
It's like, well, they're engaging in piracy, so it's only
So it's
fair.
fine, right.
It's only fair to pirate
fine
from the
there.
piracy
Yeah.
website.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah. But then I started making money and now I don't do it anymore.
Oh.
Plus, it's really hard to do now because everything charges a subscription.
Well, and you should pay artists. You
And you should
should,
pay
you
artists.
should pay them
Absolutely.
for their work.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't know the last time I bought an album, but thank you for asking. The first album that I bought,
Yeah.
Oh,
Ian,
right.
I
Yes,
was wondering.
Ian, please. We'd love to know.
it wasn't even honestly like it wasn't even because I really liked them. It was
Oh, I know who it is. Sorry. I remember you
Who
told
is
this
it?
story.
It's because I went to Tower. I was like, okay, I finally got a CD player. I'm gonna get a CD.
I hate this album.
And
That's why I know it.
yeah, and it's like, and it's not great, but like there was only so many CDs and only so many like musicians that I knew, I guess, that were like on the radio and stuff, because that's where you would listen to music.
Right, right.
And it was Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Ew. I mean, not you.
Californication.
No, it's you. That
Have you seen that show?
album's so bad.
What?
Have you seen the show, California?
David Duchovny f***ing people.
Yeah,
That's basically the show.
that's an insane show.
It's Californication,
Mm-hmm.
and it's David Duchovny, and he has like a sex addiction problem.
Yeah.
Is it someone playing him or is it actually him?
It's him. He's not playing himself.
My cousin told me I should watch that since I live in California. She like assumed I could relate.
What?
I don't know anything about this show.
You should watch it and then we can talk about it next time.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever seen Entourage?
I think I saw a clip.
That show's so ridiculous.
I haven't seen it either, but I like know the lore.
Yeah. Anyway, crimes.
So tell us
Crimes.
about the first time. No, not the first time. Anytime
Okay.
Ian sent in 10 times.
10?
He has
I
broken
had barely
the law.
2.
Yeah, Anthony barely had 2.
Look, none of them. All right. Well, I'll start with this one. I feel like I might have told this story already, so I'll keep it short and sweet. And I'll just say it was not my idea.
Okay.
But in cross country, we had these routes that we would take, and it's like you had to, find creative ways of like creating like a 5-mile loop in the neighborhood, or like an 8-mile loop in the neighborhood, and sometimes that would require, I guess, trespassing through people's yards.
Oh, that's fine. That's
like,
not that bad.
The first time that
Who mandated that?
whoever the captain was,
Oh.
like, so
Was it another kid or was
Is
it
that illegal?
Yeah.
To go through people's yards?
Yes.
What?
In certain states, you could just be shot for it.
Have you just been doing that?
My whole childhood, I would just like walk through people's yards.
But I'm
and,
not talking
cut
like
through.
front yards.
Backyards.
You would just walk through people's
Would you
backyards.
hop their fence?
Yeah, well, because like a lot of my friends we lived in the same subdivision, and so like to get to their houses, instead of like walking all the way around the blocks on the sidewalk, I would just walk through people's backyards who didn't have fences.
Could have been shot, but that's
Oh, they didn't have fences.
They didn't have fences.
Well, I feel like that's
if there's no fence, I feel like it's less.
It's just grass.
less scary.
It's asking to be walked.
Yeah, no, these are fences. These are
Oh,
fenced
so
in.
you were like hopping a fence.
Yes.
Got it. That is different.
And so like the very first run that I did in cross country, I was like, what the did I get myself into? Because we like left the school, we like went down the street, then we went into this like apartment complex, and they were like,
What?
okay, we're gonna jump over this fence. And it was like one of those like metal bar fences with like the spikes on the top.
Oh.
And we're like, okay, we're gonna jump over this. And I was like, huh? And so I tried to jump over it, and I like flipped like upside down, and the bar went through my shorts, like narrowly missing my wiener, and, which I would call it that because I was a freshman.
Right.
And it ripped a hole through my
I
shorts.
remember you
and
used
I was
to
like,
wear those shorts afterwards.
yeah,
too.
and I was stuck outside. I was stuck upside down, and all these like little
no.
like Ukrainian children were like running out and like laughing at me
Oh.
from the apartment complex. And then and then they like got me out, and then we
Who
like
got you out, the kids or the
no, some of the other runners. And then I was like, that was crazy. And then we proceeded to like cut through multiple people's like backyards to get to certain streets. And I was like, is this just like what cross country is? Like you're just like always trespassing?
Wait, were you like bleeding?
No, it didn't actually.
Oh, it
like,
just cut the shorts?
me. It narrowly missed my wiener.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, I also have been like stuck hanging on a chain link fence.
upside down as well?
Not upside down, but just
Oh.
like hanging. Has that
Is that
happened
from
to you?
trespassing?
No.
What was it, like a bully like put you up there and like just like set you on there?
I was in Ireland. My grandma lives in like a very like I can't say this word rural
Rural.
that one island. And there was like this old like farmer's chain link fence, and my Irish cousins were like hopping it, and I tried to hop, and then my clothes got stuck on it, and then they left me there because they thought it was funny because I was like an American, and so they just like went home, and I had to like scream.
Wait, they went home.
Yes, they went home, and so
They
I'm
left
just
you.
like
They left you
some random
moored,
stranger, like for a few houses over, like heard me screaming.
just like
I was
some,
like, "Help! I'm stuck
That
on
is
this
messed
fence."
up.
just like some villager.
Yeah, my pants got like my
walking
like,
a
belt
donkey.
hook got like stuck on the fence. It was really embarrassing.
You
you have
said
any
You
injuries?
said this was like a
No.
small island in Ireland.
Yeah, it's like off the coast of
Is it like-
Donegal.
Was it like Banshees of Inisherin?
It is literally exactly like that. We watched that over the holidays, and we were like, "That's where my grandma's from."
That's
basically.
pretty cool.
Yeah, awesome.
That's pretty cool.
No, I'm kidding. It's a cool place.
And then like tangentially, that is connected to the scariest trespassing that we did in cross country.
Okay.
Which was we do this like runner camp thing every year
Okay.
where we go kind of like towards the Bay Area, and it's like this really nice like rural area.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good pronunciation of that word.
thank you. And one of the routes that was made had us cutting through like somebody's ranch, and
I'm sensing a gun's gonna come out.
So we're cutting through the ranch, and there's like cows, and so I think some people like decided they're gonna like chase after some cows, and then some ranchers like saw us, and they tried to like chase us down. And they were like on like ATVs and horses.
That's so
stuff.
scary.
It was scary.
Horses?
Yeah.
Did anyone
yeah.
tip the cows in the Midwest? People
No,
do cow
no,
tipping.
no.
Oh,
That's abuse, Erin.
I don't do it. I do not. I love cows. I want a cow one
Can
day.
a
I
cow
would never
sit
tip
up
a
after
cow.
it's been tipped?
I
Yeah,
don't
I'm sure
know.
it can.
No, I don't know if they can. They're pretty stubby.
No, I'm sure.
They're like-
no, come on. You never seen a cow laying down?
Not on its back.
They don't go. They're not like a freaking cartoon. They're not like a beetle.
We don't know the anatomy of a cow. you have no way of proving that.
Okay, have you tipped a cow?
No, I haven't, and I never would.
Okay.
We'll never know, I guess.
Okay.
We'll Google after this.
Well,
I think it's
anyway,
only worth
so
tipping
we-
a cow if they go stiff and go
That's
like a
what
bug.
makes it worth it to you.
If they did
If
that,
they're
it
stuck
would
on
be
their
funny.
back.
But if not, then it's just kind of sad.
Right. It's just mean.
So yeah, we ran away from the ranchers. We like hid for a bit, and then we found an exit through like this like ravine.
Were you scared for your life?
I was scared because like I assumed they probably had guns and
Yeah.
like we'd be in like big trouble. And you know, I was like a teenager.
And you were like a convict, like going through the ravine trying to escape?
Yeah, we were like, okay, I think the road is over there. So we cut across the field, went through the barbed wire.
Wait, this is before maps were on a phone that you had in your pocket, by the way, just so you know. Yeah.
Whoa. I remember that time.
They were on their own.
MapQuest. I was alive for that.
MapQuest,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we like went through the fence, and then the road was definitely in that direction, but there was like a ravine into like a creek and then back up that we had to like go through. But we made it back, and never got caught. But somebody did tell our coach, and he made us all do a lot of push-ups.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Did you finish the push-ups?
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, I think we had to
They
do.
usually make you do like 100.
Yeah, we had to do 100. Yeah. Yeah.
Why? I don't understand, like, why cross-country teams were trespassing.
That's a good point.
What do you mean?
Like, you couldn't just, like, run in, like, public or, like, nature?
It was in nature.
But they have, like, forest preserves and, like, public spaces.
That is
guys
true. Why
can
did you have to
run.
go through there just for the fun of it?
It's very teenage boy.
Yeah. Just for the fun, just for the thrill. You know, it helps you run faster.
Right, that's
When
true.
you're committing
You probably did
crimes.
run a lot faster than you would have.
You bet I did.
So it kind of worked out. It kind of served its purpose.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a nice place. Yeah.
And you never got caught.
And we never got caught, and those ranchers will never catch me ever. Freaking try me. Try me, ranchers.
That would be wild if one of them just watched this podcast.
You never know.
You never know.
Okay, true. I guess I should have kept my mouth shut.
So I got
Alright,
two stories.
Okay.
One I know you know of, so I'm going to tell you that one first.
Okay.
But my story's way messed up compared to yours.
I know that was barely breaking the
That's
law.
barely breaking the law.
You
Like
know, I'm
you went
just-
running outside. Oh.
Hey, look, I'm just getting started. all
Okay.
right?
Okay. I can see your list.
My story has gunfire.
No, it does. I asked him because we were slacking about it.
I forgot that I had this story at all, but it's a crazy one. I think you know it though. There was gunfire. There was a lot of unlawful activity. There was mobbing. There were police. There was screaming.
Weren't you there?
No, he wasn't there for that
okay.
one.
Okay.
Did this happen in... Sorry, I guess I probably shouldn't make that joke. All right.
Okay.
Were you in Minneapolis?
No.
That's the joke you were scared to
the
make.
joke.
I don't know.
No, I was in Roseville, in California.
Dude, yeah, I think shit gets crazy in Roseville.
Isn't that the
Rock
town in
Rose.
Pretty Little Liars? You guys aren't gonna know.
I don't know.
You guys aren't gonna know.
Anyway, it's this higher end town, so it doesn't seem like this kind of stuff would happen.
Okay.
But okay, so
What year was this?
I
Were you living over there?
mean, I was living in Northern California, but not over there. I think it was probably 2010 or 2011. No,
Oh.
it was 2009.
Oh.
2009.
Oh. What
Yeah,
are you doing over there?
yeah. So
Is this the important part of the story for you?
that's what he really cares about.
I'm trying to place it.
Okay.
Okay.
So I would hang out a lot with this person that was kind of a bad influence.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know who they are. And she invited me over to this party.
It was a
And
woman.
I did gender them. So she invited me over to this party, went over there. It was like this nice big house in this nice neighborhood. And I was like, interesting that she knows someone that lives in this big mansion with like a big pool and when you walk into the house, there's this fully decked out bar with like tons of alcohol, huge TV. Like
I do remember the story now.
You do know it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it was just a really nice place. And I was talking to the guy who was throwing the party and he was like, oh yeah, I'm just house sitting this house. So throw in a rager.
Oh geez.
So he didn't even live at this place. But you know, as the night progresses, like an hour later, I hear some commotion from the living room. And I'm like, the f***? And then it's like it escalates so quickly. There's just a ton of commotion. I poke my head in, and there's just a swarm, like a mob of people that are just coming in that have no relation to anyone there. Just like 30
So
people.
sketchy.
Were they just chilling outside before?
I think that someone tipped them off that there was a party going on here.
Oh, it was like randos showing up.
Randos,
Oh,
like 30
Uninvited.
randos, all. I don't know if they where their car, if they
Like
drove
a
or
mob
what.
of like
Oh,
uninvited.
But it was like a
No.
mob of 30 people that all came in and started slowly and then very quickly escalating. But they started taking all the alcohol. Then they grabbed the TV. And
They were stealing things?
they were just stealing everything in this house.
I mean, that's the way to do it though. Like
Yeah.
if you don't know anyone.
And so the owner or the guy who was watching the house goes out there and tries to like get them to leave. He gets punched in the face. So then he just walks away holding his face and they just steal everything in the house. And there's commotion, like the police are called and stuff. But before the police show up, there's gunfire out in the front, which makes everyone hit the ground and hide or run.
And you don't know who shot the gun?
No, but I assume it was some of the people that showed up there because there was gunfire and then tires squealing. So I hid in a bush in the backyard.
What?
For how long?
I mean, it was probably only like 10 minutes or so, but it was
Yeah.
crazy how quickly that thing unfolded in 10 minutes.
Why?
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm hearing gunshots, I'm running away. I'm not hiding.
Yeah, well, the gunfire was in the front of the house.
Yeah.
You're
The
hiding
only way
in the
for me to
back?
run was in the
Was
back.
there a fence where you're sealed in?
Yes, unfortunately, there's a fence as tall as this wall right here. So I was trying to calculate
Roseville.
how do I jump over that.
They got tall fences in Roseville.
I was trying to calculate, and it was brick too. I was trying to calculate how do I get over this wall. But before I could figure out, the police came, and
Oh, okay.
everyone that was involved left. And it was just like me and 6 other people that were hiding in the backyard.
Yeah.
And we all got brought up to this room up in the upper part of the house and just questioned by this police for like a half hour.
What?
And we're like, we had nothing to do with this. We showed them our ID. We were
Right.
like, we had nothing to do with this. We're legally able to drink. So yeah, we were drinking, but we had nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And they just kept us there questioning us for like a half hour. And then they finally just let us go. I was invincible.
What was like your drink of choice back then?
Ugh.
Whatever was
Some
cheapest and available.
Bullshit. I know you like to drink like tequila sunrises.
That's
I know
so
you.
funny.
I know you.
Not at like house parties though.
He's
That-
pulling up to someone's house and be like,
That was
"Can I
like
get a
at
tequila
VidCon.
sunrise?"
I mean, like just like
Rolling
we
Rock.
would, yeah, we go and like buy shitty beer.
Fair.
And
People called it natty ice.
Oh.
Well, that's
do
natural.
people still say
ice. That's natural ice.
Whatever. It was
Natty
the,
ice.
It was the cheapest.
Or natty light.
See, I don't know. I didn't like go to like house parties. I started drinking once I moved out here.
Interesting.
So I just like fully went for it, just like full
we
club.
would go to the liquor store and just get the cheapest 36 pack.
Yeah, and then
that
there
makes
would just
sense.
and there would just be like horrible liquor that like I don't think I would usually drink. Captain Morgan.
Sometimes Fireball.
Yeah.
Fireball was like
that was a
revolution.
treat.
That was like a revolution.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I feel like Fireball didn't. I feel like Fireball, it probably did exist, but I feel like it didn't exist when we first started drinking.
Fireball was invented after you.
I don't
it
think
just
it was. I
wasn't
don't think it
common.
was, but I don't think it was
wasn't
as common as it became. There was a time before the ubiquity of Fireball.
So there was before Fireball
yeah,
and after Fireball.
but I never liked it.
Pitbull is always saying that.
Yeah,
No, I did like it. It was just syrup and cinnamon, basically.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
pretty good.
But it was good for if you're gonna have a
That's the job.
Yeah.
um,
Anyway,
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Like,
Were you like guys who went to party with the intention of like picking up girls, or were you there just to like?
always?
Yeah, brother.
We're always there to smash. No, I've never tried to pick up anybody from a party.
No.
Ever in your life?
Never.
What are
No,
you
me
doing
neither.
at these parties?
Me neither.
You're not talking to people.
Drinking. I mean,
You're not
like,
picking up
honestly,
girls. You're
I
just chugging bad
I
drinks
felt obligated to socialize. I didn't actually want.
without socializing.
Yeah, actually, I
Just
felt like
being
I
present.
felt like I had to be there. Had to say I was there.
So
yeah.
you've never had the rush of like trying to like finesse someone at a party.
No,
No.
I've never tried to finesse anybody.
And
I think like I don't know, like I guess I've always like thought it was like kind of like I think like I always like I never wanted to appear creepy.
Sure.
yeah,
And so like the idea of like I'm drinking, you're a stranger that's drinking, and I'm gonna try to pick you up seemed like so far outside of like what I wanted to like be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like the idea of like picking up somebody at a party, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I just never wanted to like come off as like a creep.
yeah,
Which I know that's just my brain.
yeah.
Sure.
And I've only ever hooked up with people that I'm in long-term relationships with. So
Well,
it's
that's
never
right. Serial monogamists.
or just single for a long time and fine with it. I never found any interest in just like hooking up with drunk people. Although one long-term relationship that I was in, I did meet her at a party.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you didn't pick them up at the party.
No, it was like weeks later.
You met at the party,
Yeah.
and then you reconnected after.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play a game.
Okay.
You're 21. You're at a party.
Okay.
You see a hottie.
Yeah. I'm not talking to them. Like 100%. I'm gonna like occasionally like look over at them like, wow, they're really hot. But there's no way I'm approaching them.
What if they look back and they smile? You make
I'm
eye
looking
contact.
away. I'm looking away immediately. Like that's gonna happen. I'm gonna be looking at them. They look at me, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna, like, my eyes are gonna immediately dart away, and then I'm gonna look back at them when they're not looking at me.
What if she walks over and she's like, "Hi."
She's not doing that. Let's be real. This
Well,
is
what if she did?
this is me. This is me at 21. You've seen me at 21.
Okay, what if she walks over to both of you?
Yeah.
What if you're in front of the punch bowl and she's trying to get to the punch?
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh my god, this is the girl I've been looking at all night. Like she's so cute." And she's like, "Oh my god, I like your shoes."
Yeah. This is the greatest day of my life. And the scariest moment in my life.
You're still like, even then, you're not
Yeah.
saying nothing. to her.
Even today, I don't know how to deal with it. Like I literally had this situation recently where there was a really attractive woman, and I was at a party, and I was talking to her for a while, and then later,
Huge.
Huge.
well, because now I don't care. Like
Oh, okay.
I'll talk to attractive people now. but later in the night, we were like, there was a couple of us, and she complimented my shoes, and I did not know how to. I was just like,
Thank
really?
you. You say
I disagreed with her.
You're like, no, they're not.
I just had like these basic, like, you might have seen, they're like basic, like black kind of like leather kind of shoes with like a
Oh
white
yeah,
bottom.
I've seen those. Yeah.
And she's like, I like your shoes, and I was like, really? I don't know. They're like, like I just and then like later on, I was like, wait, was she like hitting on me?
Probably, if they were
Yeah.
so basic that you didn't even see why she liked them, probably.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, was that like an opening?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That
so.
I immediately shut down, being like, really? I don't think they're that nice.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't just go up to a man and compliment him for no reason, you know? But
Yeah.
also, that could just be me.
Yeah, no, I realized after the fact, I was like, I think I dropped the ball.
Was she like a friend of a friend?
Yeah.
Well, maybe she likes the chase, you know? So maybe she liked that you didn't like the compliment.
Yeah.
And she liked it so much that she hasn't even tried to. Reach out.
She's
No,
playing
that's
hard
fine.
to get back to you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, later in towards the end of the party, her and a few other people were planning on going to an escape room. and she invited me. But then
She's given you so many hints, my guy.
But then the escape room was wound up being closed.
Oh.
Did she also say, "Oh, I've always wanted to make out with the guy wearing black shoes before"?
And I was like, that's crazy. I hope that works out for you.
Wait, you had the perfect opportunity to get her number because you were going to go to like an escape room and it was closed. You could have been like, we should still do this sometime, and then got her number.
And you're never going to see her again,
You're never going to see her
right?
again unless she's watching.
I don't think she's
Comment your
watching.
numbers below. Ian's going to go through and try to find you.
I did check her Instagram to see if she followed me after, and she didn't. So I was just like, okay.
No, that's good. I mean, she doesn't care that you have a social media account.
Or she's thinking, that guy hated me.
Maybe.
It's
She's like,
possible.
I dropped 40 hints.
Yeah.
It's possible because I think I do. I think some people do misread my demeanor when I'm talking to them. Like I don't sound interested.
That's fair. That's fair. I could see that. I feel like I have the same issue.
Yeah.
But you're both very interested.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I was going to say,
Sometimes. Yeah.
Say something interesting.
I feel like I could tell when you're interested and when you're not.
But you like know us more.
Yeah.
That's true.
You could read through the stone face.
Yeah. You got 10 stories about breaking the law and you've only been through 2?
Sorry, we got distracted. We got
A
distracted.
little distracted.
I need to hear about these.
Talking about our pickup game.
Well, I needed
Of
to
which
know.
I have
needed to
none.
know like what you guys do at parties, and it sounds like a whole lot of nothing. But thank you for sharing.
It is a lot of nothing.
It's a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
But I like parties now because I don't know, like I like the people that I go to parties with, and I don't drink shitty beer anymore. So it's like pleasurable.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I hanging out in groups of more than 3, probably not happening at all.
Yeah, that's fair.
But if there's a party with like 3 people, then I'm good with that. And I'm the third person.
Would you call that a party?
It could be a party.
I think that's like that's an
Kickback.
outing. Yeah,
Okay.
I think
Outing.
it's just hanging out
You know
with your
what?
friends.
I'm down with kickback.
That's what we're doing right now. There's 3 of us.
Yeah, this is great.
This is a party?
Anything more than
This
this,
is a crazy
it's overwhelming.
party.
And I'm like, why am I here? I'm not contributing.
No, that's
Okay.
fair.
They're
So-
doing all the work. Oh, I did commit another crime. The first time I got drunk was when I was 20.
Anthony.
Messed up.
Yeah.
That's really bad of you.
And it was here in LA before we lived in LA.
I thought you were thinking it was here in
Oh,
this
yeah.
building.
Here in this building.
Yeah, actually, I'd say even more so. It was that bar committing a crime.
It's
They
true.
served
That
us.
is true.
We didn't have our IDs, and this was 2006, so this was before, like, this was right after Smosh popped off, but like no one knew who we were still.
Yeah.
So we went to this. Our agent was like, "It's Halloween night. There's no way you're not going to a party tonight."
Yeah.
And he made us go get outfits and all this dumb shit.
What were you dressed as?
Something really stupid.
Yeah.
And so he brought us to the door, and he was like, they were obviously IDing, and he's like, "Do you know who these guys are?"
Stop.
And
That's
he literally
embarrassing.
shows this guy.
He literally pulled
our
the, "Do you
YouTube
know who
channel.
they are?" So yeah, it was to this like really like cool rooftop bar in downtown, and yeah, so he
He just showed our YouTube channel,
so
and they just let us in.
it was the most like Hollywood experience.
I was like, "Is this like?"
I feel like you couldn't get away with that nowadays. They'd be like, okay,
Yeah, I don't think so.
I
either.
bet you could.
Really?
should we try?
Sure.
Let's try.
People, as far as I understand, like people that grow up in LA, like underage drink all the time.
Yeah, but I don't think you could pull it. Do you know who they are anymore?
Oh, I'm sure like all those TikTokers did that shit in Hollywood. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, and then so we got to like skip a line.
Got to skip the line and just go straight in,
go
and
straight in.
and I went to the bar, and I'd never ordered a drink before, and they said, "What do you want?" And I said, "I don't know." And then
That should
You
have
said,
been.
I don't know.
That should have been a red flag right there.
You're like, what do you guys serve at bars?
We couldn't have been more illegal. Like we couldn't have been more like underage.
and I literally
drinkers.
said, "What's the sweetest drink?" And then
What's the sweetest drink?
yes. And then they said, "One Sex on the Beach coming right up."
Oh my God.
Yep. So I came back for thirds, and
You had 3 of them.
yeah, I was very
In
social.
how much time?
I don't know, probably 45 minutes, but I was very social. I was like, "Whoa, I didn't know
Yeah.
I was this social. I didn't realize was the alcohol. I
That's
thought I
how
was just a really
alcohol
social
works.
person."
Yeah.
That was such a crazy because that was one of our first times in LA,
Yeah.
and it was like such a crazy like, this is what LA is like. Like LA like celebrity experience. Like
Yeah,
we're on
that-
this like rooftop in
Well,
downtown.
do you remember that agent too had a roommate whose parents like were the founders of some candy company? So this roommate had just way too much money, and it was a tiny ass apartment, and they had like a 70-inch TV in the tiny little living room. Like he was playing a video game and it was taking up the entire wall.
Yeah, and we're like, whoa,
Whoa,
awesome.
rich lifestyles.
But now everybody has like a 70-inch TV.
Yeah.
But back then it was
Right. I remember those times.
yeah. So I'd say that place committed more of a crime than we did.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got to benefit.
Serving minors.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I just got to have so much sex on
Right.
the beach.
So you didn't break the law. The bar did.
Well,
What is-
are we
what
past
is-
the statute of limitations on that one?
I
Was
mean,
that
like,
20 years ago?
Shut the up.
what even happens if like a cop catches
16
you?
years ago.
If a cop catches you underage drinking, what are they? They're just like, stop.
I think they probably would say who bought you
They just
this.
say like, go home.
I think you can get it. I think you get a ticket
Oh.
typically, or you can like. I knew some people in college who like spent a night in jail, but that's because they were like so intoxicated.
I think
they
they
were
just say this
driving.
is going on your record.
They were driving. No.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, don't do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, don't do it.
Yeah. Also, just don't drink.
I don't think I've drank since last year.
do
was great.
instead. Kidding.
We got drinks
When did we get drinks?
when we went to that little Mexican spot. We got the tasty little.
Was that this
Oh,
year?
you guys hang out?
Was that this year? I think that was last year.
No, I think it was this year. It was around.
Okay.
Might have been around holiday break.
Which was last year.
I guess.
It was before the holiday break.
I was thinking like a year ago, not.
No,
last
I
year.
haven't
All right,
drank
got you.
since December
Okay.
last year.
Okay.
And it's better.
That's
my,
crazy.
My brain feels better.
I
Not,
believe
not that
that.
I really drank much before, but it's just
No.
gross for me. Anyway, when did you break the law the third time?
Okay. What law breaking do I want to go to next?
I want to hear about you putting a table on a school roof.
Okay. So.
I know this one.
Yeah. So this is Sacramento. There's not much to do in the suburbs. And were you there?
No. And I don't know why I wasn't, because
Yeah.
that's exactly something I would have done at that age.
Yeah.
Is it?
And
I think it is.
We were really bored. It was late at night. And then somebody had this idea of like, let's go to the school and do something. I don't think it was like there was any sort of plan. And we got there, and the school had these enormous octagonal tables,
Okay.
like huge octagonal.
Like outdoor lunch
so
tables.
you also broke into the school.
No, it was outdoors.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And these tables were left outside.
Bad idea.
and
Oh, and it wasn't just a table; it had the seats attached to it.
yeah.
So it was this
Oh.
huge.
Yeah, it was like this, like, imagine like an octagon.
Right.
You know that?
Yes.
And,
You know that.
And,
I know my shapes.
and then, yeah, this like metal bar comes from the table and then goes to like the seat. So the whole thing is like one giant piece.
Right.
Probably seats like 16.
I did go to public school, so I had these same tables.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. Probably sits like 16 or 30.
This is really
Let's say
important
32
that we
people.
dissect.
32 people.
Well, yeah. 'cause-
32 people at a table?
Well, think about it.
No.
Think about it. No, think about it. Let's do some math.
What do you mean? Think about
Three-
it.
Not 32 people sitting at this table.
Okay, let's do some simple math. Octagon, 8 sides. There's 8 seats, and those seats probably seat 3 people.
I don't think it was actually an octagon.
It was definitely an octagon.
I think it.
Eight times-
I think it might have been.
8 times 3. 8 times 3.
I think it might have been a
32, right?
hexagon. A hexagon. I think.
No, it's 24. Shit.
I think it might have been a hexagon.
You think it was a hexagon?
That's so different.
I think it was a
All right, so
hexagon.
you know
18
that.
people.
Hexagon. You know
So
that.
18 people.
Okay, I think it could have said.
That's
It-
literally half of
seated-
Not 36.
Shut the up. I never said that. I never said 36. I said 32, which
Literally-
was wrong.
literally like play the clips.
I never said 36. I said 32, which was also wrong.
Okay.
So my dad's the math guy, not me.
Child of an accountant.
Okay, so we got there and we're like, what should we do?
That is actually how you talk then.
Basically. And somebody had
Why'd
the
you
idea,
stop?
like, let's take this giant table and put it on the roof. And so there was like 10 of us, I think.
Yeah.
And we all banded together. We had
Wow.
some people stand on the roof and some of us on the bottom
How did people get on the roof?
climbing.
You just scaled the side of the school?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. There's like
I thought that was a valid question.
there's
but
like
continue.
poles. Like we might have even used the table to get people up there.
Okay.
You know.
Very resourceful.
And we had probably like half the people on the roof, half the people on the ground. We pushed it up there, and we got on the roof, and then we went home. I guess
Did anyone jump off?
jump off the roof.
Yeah.
How else would they have gotten down?
Never mind.
You could climb down.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
You don't know. You were there.
Ian's telling me this story, and I'm like, oh, dude. And then we get to the school, and it's just sitting there.
Yeah.
On the roof still?
Yeah. And then it's like, whoa. And there was nothing else to it. It's not funny.
Yeah, but it's awesome.
It's
It's awesome because we did that.
It's just a table on a roof. It's not fun.
That's so epic.
Do you remember when our friend hoisted a blow-up doll up the flagpole?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
People don't do pranks like this anymore.
No, we did. We went hard with the senior pranks. Our friend chopped down a tree
Whoa.
and it landed on the library.
Oh, that's funny. You know, one more illegal thing that I forgot.
He wasn't able to walk.
Oh, yeah. That's...
No, I mean not
You
physically.
can't just
Not
blurt
physically.
that out.
He wasn't
Ian.
able to. He wasn't able to walk at his graduation. So I guess I should have.
Made it sound
clarified
like
that.
You were just saying he
The school
walk.
beat him until he couldn't walk.
Jeez.
No, no, but they found out. They found out it was him because like they rounded up a bunch of students and then pressured him. And then one of our friends squealed.
That's right.
Scandalous.
There was another time that I broke the law at school after hours. That was not that case.
Okay.
We were with a different group. I don't know if you were
Did it
there.
involve signs?
Yes. Were you
Okay, I
there?
was there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's the other one I have.
Okay, then I'll let you tell it. Yeah.
Okay. So we.
I was there for this one.
Okay. Yeah. So we.
Partners in crime.
So this was during campaign season.
2008.
So
Or
there was
2004?
8. Oh.
2004. Yeah.
Who was even running then?
Bush. Bush and Gore. Bush and
It
Gore.
was Bush and Gore.
No. Bush and Kerry.
Bush and Kerry.
Bush and Kerry. Sorry,
Oh,
Bush and Gore was
God.
2000.
Dude, I feel
so
so old saying
George Bush and
Kerry.
John Kerry.
I don't even know who the second guy is.
He was Secretary of State for Obama, right? No, that was Hillary. Wait.
I
He
don't
was
know. Don't
something.
act, don't act like
Doesn't
you know.
Anyway, so there was, people all over town had all these like political signs in their lawn, and we were bored one night as we were, and we stole a bunch of the signs and threw them into our friend's pickup truck, and then we drove to the school at like midnight and put all the signs
In the school lawn.
in the school lawn.
From a specific candidate?
No, just all of them.
No, just
So
we
there-
just stole random signs.
There were like 200 political signs in this lawn.
Is this
now.
illegal?
Well, we took someone's sign.
I mean, I guess it's like theft of some sort. So anyway, it doesn't stop there because this actually involves running with the police. So we were going back to the truck to get more signs, and a cop shows up, and he's like, "Somebody reported that there was people here. What are you guys doing here?" And he sees us with all these signs in the trunk, and we lied to him and told him that we were part of like student government and that we were trying to encourage students to like get excited about voting, and that we were placing the signs on campus as like to get people excited about politics.
Did they buy it?
Yes.
Yeah, the cop was just like, keep up the good work.
He was just like, "Oh, okay." Like, and he left.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, that was an actual run-in with the law.
Wow.
And we freaking fooled the cops.
Nice.
Got away with it.
Nice.
But it's not cool, and we don't condone that behavior. You need to tell another story.
Okay,
Ian
another
does?
crime.
Yeah, because I should go later.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's see another crime.
You
Okay.
have friends speeding in your car after you were drunk.
Okay,
and told them
okay.
to punch it, and then you
Oh
argue.
yeah.
Okay.
You saved that one.
I didn't even hear.
Okay, so I'll do a couple car related ones. Just like I didn't put on the registration of my car, and a cop would pull me over and be like, "Why?"
there.
Blah, blah, blah.
Been there.
Relatable.
Did you get let go though?
of course, because I actually paid for the registration. I just didn't put the sticker on.
Right.
I did cross a double yellow line. Oh my gosh, to get into a left turn lane.
And you got a ticket.
And I got a ticket for that one.
I've never gotten a ticket.
Yeah, because this was campus police. Those
you
people.
can't do that.
Yeah,
I didn't know you can't do
that's
that.
why it's 2 yellow lines.
Didn't you have to retake a test recently?
Shut up, stop.
You're not supposed
watching.
to. You're not supposed to cross double yellow ever.
I know that, but like for a turn lane, I thought it was like I thought it's like cool. It's like chill if you just kind of.
They're like,
Yeah.
it's chill.
So so like the turn lane was like starting, like a little bit past where like the line of cars were at.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, I'll just kind of like whoop,
Right.
and get into that left turn lane.
Yeah.
There was a cop that was in that line.
Ooh.
And so he pulled me over and gave me a ticket. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then another time I was in the canyon in my Subaru and I had some family friends with me and passed highway patrol, maybe going a little bit over the speed limit because I'm in a canyon.
Nothing gets past those guys.
And he flipped around and pulled me over.
How did he catch up to you? You were speeding.
I was going so fast.
That means he had to speed.
No, those guys, yeah.
They're allowed to.
No, because we passed him, and then I was like, shit, because I was coming around a corner, so I didn't see him, and he was going away. I was like, well, okay, I'm probably going to get pulled over. And then he thought I had like a really like modified car, so he made me like rev my engine to like try to give me like a
Sure.
citation for like noise, but I had to basically stock exhaust, so they couldn't get me.
So instead, you just got to show off your car to this cop.
Yeah, I was like, hey, but what I didn't know is that my family friend had weed in his backpack
This is before it was legal.
before it was legal,
I don't know if you remember back then.
and so he was freaking out.
Did he eat it all?
Did you guys
yeah, he
smoke it all?
No, he boofed it.
Oh,
What?
Wait, that's not the right
I don't
term.
think that's the right term.
I was trying to make a joke that he put it up his ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew what you meant.
Anyway,
It might as well be boofing.
no, boofing is when you do it off of somebody's ass. I think.
What?
I've
Not
never
about
heard
that one.
this term.
Never heard that one.
Is that
Do
true?
it? Do the weed off
I've
of
seen
someone's
this-
ass?
Not weed, like it would be like coke,
Oh.
like a powder.
Oh.
That makes more sense.
Okay.
Weed would be
Anyway.
hard, and that would
All
hurt.
right, well,
You'd
now
have
I
to
know
light
what
them on
boofing-
fire. You'd have to light their ass on fire.
Yeah. Just set the trail like.
So I actually did not get a ticket for that because I was.
Because he was like, cool car, dude. Good revving.
Yeah, I mean, it might have also helped that we're in a rural area and I was a white boy.
Yeah.
What'd your friend do with the weed?
He put it up his ass.
And got super high.
No, he didn't check our stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He was just like making sure that I didn't have like a modified car, and then he was just like, "Don't speed on this road because I'll know, because there's only one road."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Yes, sir." Those are my. And then should I get to the other one you mentioned?
Yeah. Get to some funnier ones.
All right. So this one. Okay. So I was out on the town and I was drinking.
but
I-
not talking to any girls.
Definitely not talking to any girls. And one of my friends was our designated driver.
Nice.
And
Responsible.
yes. And so I had him drive my car. And it was kind of a fast car, same one I got pulled over in. And we're getting on the on-ramp and I was like, punch it. And he was like, really? I was like, yeah, punch it.
This is drunk Ian.
Yeah. So I was very excited. And so he punches it, and we're going up the on ramp, so it's not like we're just getting up to highway speed.
You kind of got to punch it.
You have to punch
Some
it.
of the ramps in California, pretty short.
Exactly. So he had to punch it. There was a highway patrol car at the end of the on ramp,
Oh, no.
and so he, we went past him, and then he pulled us over, and then he tried to tell me that my tent was my car tent.
Mm-hmm.
My window tent was.
Sorry, you said tent.
Let's not go there.
You just made fun of her for the way
I
she
have
said
a speech
alcohol.
impediment. Anthony, I have a speech
No,
impediment.
you don't. You can't just claim that if
Yes,
it's
I
not
can.
true.
Yes,
Why do you have one? I had one because
because I get my E's and my I's mixed up.
You just gave her shit for saying alcohol, and you said tent.
I will never give her shit for again because she has a speech impediment.
I don't have one currently. I had one.
Okay, well I have one apparently.
Yeah. What's that dating?
Oh
app
wait, you
called?
actually do.
What's that dating app called?
Tinder.
Okay. Okay. Just making
Did
sure.
I get it right? Okay.
Yeah.
So he pulls us over. He's like, your tent is illegal, and I was drunk, and so I argued with him. And I was
Bad
like,
idea.
no, it's not. And he's like, yes, it is.
Bad idea.
And I was
Were
like,
you just in the backseat arguing?
I was in shotgun.
Oh, okay. Still.
Yeah, but I was like, but it wasn't. But it's like, yeah,
Did you
of
get a
course,
ticket?
like, don't argue with a cop. No.
You got let go
Yeah.
After arguing
with
with
a
cop,
warning.
Yeah.
and they didn't even check to see who the owner
White
was.
Maybe
guys.
it's because he knew I was right. All right, he knew I was right. I didn't have a
Privileged.
legal tent. It was a very light tent, which I think is legal.
Which I think. So now you're saying I think, but you're so confident.
Well, I was confident because I was drunk. But
Did
yeah,
he ever check to see if you were the owner versus your friend who was driving?
I think I told him
Oh.
that I was the owner.
You were drunk. You're like, yeah, I'm drunk.
I'm drunk, and so is he.
Well,
No.
that's not illegal to be drunk in the
No, I
passenger
know.
seat of your
No.
own car.
But it would explain why you argued with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think my registration sticker was also not up to date.
Oh.
So he-
And you
so he-
still just got a warning.
Still just gotta wait for a second time.
yeah, because I had actually paid for my registration. I
Oh,
had
you
to
just-
put the
Oh, I
sticker on,
see.
Yeah. It's a common theme that I have
Yeah. I see.
of like doing things halfway. So yeah, that was that one.
That's a fun one.
That was awesome.
That's a fun one.
Crimes.
Crimes.
I feel like we should get to Anthony's crime because this one's
to
pretty
Anthony's
crazy.
crime.
Okay, so I don't think you know this one fully, but I have a good reason for why you don't know it. So, okay,
Did you steal something from my house?
no, but that would be awesome if I did. You know that one friend that we had that was like
Oh no.
kind of a degenerate?
You gotta narrow it down, buddy.
The one
Okay.
that I would do homework for? The guy who...
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
the guy who, just to give more context, the guy who would make jackass videos.
Yep.
The guy who who would go around bragging about the fact that he climbed up on the roof of a car wash and he pulled his pants down and sat his ass over the edge so that when the car
Got
was
out of the
coming
car
out with the clean car, he was shitting on it.
Were you guys jealous you didn't think of that for a Smosh video?
I mean,
Yeah.
Smosh didn't even exist yet.
That's what inspired us.
But yeah, I think that was honestly like the most brilliant prank he ever did.
Well, because all of his other pranks were like going around bashing in mailboxes or
Running over like Christmas ornaments, like Christmas like
Lawn ornaments.
And this was your guys' friend?
Not a friend. I would not say friend.
Not really friend.
Okay.
Oh, did he ever show you the video where
The nachos.
Ugh.
Okay, okay. I don't know what it is, but like half of this guy's pranks, and I feel like half of like Jackass pranks, half of his pranks involved shitting. So
Well,
We don't need
maybe.
to tell the full
So-
story. People were not happy about
Some
all our
people
shit
are into
stories.
that.
so he had this one video
Mhm.
where he thought it was a hilarious prank to like go to like 7-Eleven.
And he showed you the video too, right?
Yeah,
Why would he show everyone this?
Because he thought it was hilarious.
Was it hilarious or is it his kink?
Ooh. I think he just thought it was hilarious because he was like
Oh.
17. But so what he did was he would buy the nachos from 7-Eleven,
Mhm.
and you know how they have like the chili.
Yeah.
So he then like took the nachos into the corner of the store and then shit on the nachos, and then went to the front counter and he's like, "Hey, my nachos are weird."
Oh my God. How mad would you be if I revealed one of those bags was full of poop?
Oh, this is close to the ingredients
close.
there, and it's fucking disgusting now.
Let's cover it with these napkins. I don't want to see this.
Did he ever show you the video where some of his friends put little tacks in like this homemade blow dart situation, and they were shooting it at his belly? And
Yeah, I think yeah.
and he had a bullseye drawn on his belly,
Yeah.
and they were shooting tacks
This
into
guy-
his skin.
Okay.
And he was pulling them out, and they were stuck in his skin. So it was like, after they were coming out. And I was like, what happened if they went in your belly button? He's like, oh.
Jeez.
Yeah. Anyway, so that guy was a cool guy.
Yeah, that was your bestie.
So
Pretty cool guy.
Mhm.
cool. We should like check to see if he's even alive still.
Well,
Anyway.
we won't say his
Sorry.
name.
Okay,
Um,
so the
is this guy.
degenerate guy.
yes,
Okay.
very cool guy. He didn't want to. He stopped going to public school, started going to homeschool, and his parents put him in homeschool, and he would pay me to do his homework packets.
Were you like good at homework?
No, I don't
Good
know why.
enough.
Good enough, I
Okay.
guess. First I was getting him A's, then B's, and then it went all the way down to D's. And he was like, yeah, I don't know if I keep paying you.
Yeah,
To
of
give me
course
D's.
not.
I'm like, you're still passing. He's like, true. And then he paid me $25 a packet still just to get him
That's
D's.
crazy.
Okay, so that guy came up with this scheme that I worked with him to complete.
Oh no.
So he, I don't know how he had this idea. He had this space in his backyard, and there was like chicken wire there. I don't know if that's what convinced him to do this, but somehow he would steal chickens in town, and he would keep them in his backyard.
Stop.
Yes, and then he would pay me to sell the eggs on Craigslist.
What?
Yes,
By the way, brilliant name. Craigslist.
Oh, I didn't even think of
Okay,
that.
you were selling black market chicken eggs.
Yes. So I would design websites for money. This guy would pay me to do his homework packets, and I would sell eggs. I didn't tell you that.
Would he steal? Okay, so there's a neighborhood nearby that was like connected to our neighborhood that just had free roaming chickens and roosters. Would he steal them from?
I don't know
Fair
where he
Oaks?
got them. I didn't like to talk to him.
I bet he stole them from Fair Oaks.
Probably.
Because there's this like really cute little town, and they're just free roaming chickens and roosters. They just be walking around town. And you'd be like, oh, so he probably just like drove there in his car and just grabbed chickens, threw them into his car.
And the weirdest part is there's demand for eggs.
Yeah,
Who's buying eggs
that's
on
what I
Craigslist?
was just gonna ask. I'm like,
Who's buying eggs
going
on Craigslist?
and be like, I need some eggs.
Also, like, I mean, there's a brief moment when eggs were expensive, but like, eggs
Black market eggs.
in like 2004, like, how much was he charging for eggs?
It was like $5. It was like $5.
Why didn't you guys just like
For how
set up a
many eggs?
stand?
I don't even
dozen?
remember. I don't know. I guess a dozen.
Would he have cartons for it, or would it just be?
It was
like
just it was
sandwich bag.
It was just like a plastic container or like a cardboard container, just loose eggs.
Did you ever try any?
No.
I guess maybe people were like they wanted it because it was like, oh, they're like local eggs, like they're not farmed eggs. I mean, they might have been tastier than like like if you think about it, the chickens, like, well, I mean, they were probably these like free roaming chickens, so they probably did have better lives before he took them, but they were probably being
Wait,
treated.
he was killing the chicken?
No,
That's
Oh.
true. I don't know what he did with it.
but he probably treated them better than like.
I don't know.
actual-
You think this guy
he was
who's shitting
shitting on nachos?
is
Yeah.
treating a chicken better than
I
wherever
mean, have
it
you
was?
seen like caged chickens?
He probably shit on the chickens or fed them his
I'm
own
assuming these chickens were free, like
free range.
wild.
Before he took them.
Yeah, I'm guessing so.
Yeah, probably.
But I was afraid that if I
Wow.
told you, you would tell your mom, just like when you told your mom that you skipped school to get Halo 2. You told your mom everything.
That was about me, though. Why would I tell my mom about you selling
could see
black
it.
market eggs?
No, I could totally see it.
I don't
you seem
know.
like you would be like a tattletale.
Shut the up. How dare you?
Told your mom everything.
I didn't tell my mom everything.
Yeah, you did.
No.
I bet she knows every crime you committed in this video
No.
already.
No, because there's a crime.
Let's
I
call
committed
her.
That
Can
I'm
we
not
call
gonna
her?
Talk about.
Call her.
No.
Now you guys don't.
Wait, there's
now
a
you don't know
crime
her.
that you're going to talk about?
No,
that
there's a
she-
crime I'm not going to talk about that she doesn't know that I did when I was a teenager.
So you're only talking about crimes that your mom knows you did today?
My mom doesn't know I committed these crimes. I didn't tell my mom any of these crimes because I knew I wouldn't be caught for them. I told my mom about Halo 2 because I knew the school was going to call my house and tell her that I skipped school. So I preempted that by telling her myself because I thought I'd get in less trouble if I confessed to it before she found out from the school.
It wasn't just because you wanted your mom to know everything
No, it
about
was a
you?
strategic move.
Wait, hold on. If you had known that Anthony was selling these stolen chicken eggs, do you think part of you like would have been worried for his future and then like told your mom like he's going down a dark path?
No, I want to get cut in on that. Cut me in
Actually,
on
it's
this.
fair. You were already buying ripped CDs from me.
Yeah.
Did you tell your mom about that?
No.
Ian really falls for your scams
Yeah. I'm full of scams.
and
I
lies.
forgot I paid for that music.
Yeah, you did. $5. Lincoln Park.
Was it Linkin Park?
Meteora.
Oh yeah.
Just
Not
one song?
Reanimation?
No, it was Meteora.
Was that the third one?
Second album.
What was Reanimation? Oh, that was the.
That was a third one, but that was remixes with Jay-Z. That was
yeah.
stupid.
You're right. No, there's some sick songs. In
There were some,
Reanimation.
but I'd already heard most of the songs within the songs because they were
Yeah.
just reorganized.
True.
Anyway, Meteora, Linkin Park. Ian paid $5 for
Yeah.
ripped
Stupid.
16 kilobit per second version
I
of
don't
the
know.
songs.
Seemed like a good deal to me.
Yeah. Do you have any more crimes?
I don't. I think that's all my crimes.
Really? I finish it off?
You did finish it off. Do you have anything you want to share about that crime?
About the
Anything
egg
else?
crime? Yeah. Where did the egg crimes end?
Well, they didn't end. Because
You're
they never
still.
started.
You just lied.
Just made that one up. I just committed a crime in lying to you. I will say that Erin encouraged it because I didn't have many crimes to talk about. So she was like, just make one up.
Yeah, I reached out to him yesterday and I was like, what did
She
you
was like,
lied
just
to
make up
Ian?
a story.
I wanted you to get mad. Like I wanted you to be like, this didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
You thought I believe my friends.
Oh.
Aw.
Actually, I thought that you would not get mad about the fact that it happened. I thought you'd get mad about the fact that I was saying that you tell your mom everything. I was setting
she did
I was
get
setting
angry
you
at.
up to get angry at that, and you did get angry at that.
Oh.
You did get angry at that.
I got super pissed.
Yeah.
Because
He gave me the look like, we're going to have a talk after this.
don't you dare.
Yeah. No,
Can't
I
say
made up
bastard.
that one. Can't say bastard. That's another thing.
You can't cuss.
That's another thing.
I was afraid of cussing in my house.
Because
You were?
Yeah, because I was like, because somebody said bastard.
we were making a homemade Lego stop motion video,
Yeah.
and we had to say bastard in it.
I was like,
And Ian was like, don't say bastard. You know another word that I remember you couldn't say?
what?
Sucks.
What?
Was it sucks or shut up? There was some weird thing that your parents didn't like.
If
you
it was
to say.
shut up, that's so ironic.
That's true. I think
don't-
it was sucks.
I don't know.
Was it not you?
I don't know. Might have been our Mormon friend.
Yeah, that makes sense too. But I thought that it was you where your mom was like, can you not say that? I forget.
Words.
Those are some riveting crimes, you guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We live a life of crime.
Well,
Yeah.
you have one that you said you're not even telling because you don't want your mom to know.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I
What
don't
would
want
you
the public at large to know.
What needs to happen in order to tell that crime?
Maybe the person that you were with needs to be deceased.
Yeah, I have to wait for this. The secret dies with me.
Whoa.
The other person in the story needs to be gone.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll circle back when that happens.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a few minutes left. So it's time for some fan questions.
All right.
Go. Finding YouTube questions. Finding it. Is it YouTube questions?
It's YouTube, yeah.
Finding YouTube questions. Finding YouTube questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see now. Okay, at Ellen, who's _, what's the first thought you had today?
Time to wake up.
That's what you think?
Time to get out of bed.
I was thinking about.
The first thought you
First
had?
thought was, time to get out of bed.
Ian doesn't care.
He goes, what was your thought?
I was thinking about how the new pillow that I got makes me want to sleep on my back more often, but I think that's causing post-nasal drip. So I've been-
You thought all of that the second you woke up.
yeah, because my throat was sore. Yeah, and also like PSA. If you're a drooler, like
Did you just come out as a drooler?
I'm a drooler, yeah,
Huge.
because I sleep with a mouthpiece. I'm also
Do you
coming out as
really?
a mouthpiece person.
Wait, what's a mouth?
Yeah.
Night guard.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh.
I actually wear
He
one
just
of those.
goes to bed with grills.
Night guard, bros.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think because of the night guard, my mouth kind of stays a little open.
Can you
and-
show
Yeah,
us
you
a
can
visual?
say a gape.
Agape. My mouth is agape. And I realized because I got a new pillow and new pillowcase, and the pillowcase is like a slate kind of color, like a dark gray.
You didn't have to say slate. You could have just said dark gray.
Well, I think slate is like the appropriate kind of idea of the color.
Okay.
If you understand like material.
I'm not into colors, but I think Anthony is, so maybe you guys can bond over that.
Did you get it? Slate.
I knew what slate was. You didn't need to say more.
The issue is drool marks like really show up on a dark pillowcase. So don't do that. And
so
also,
when your friends come over, you're like, it's just drool.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's insinuating that I my pillow.
I don't know.
Well, pillows can like move around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I've been sleeping on my back more often.
That was a lot of thoughts to have
Yeah.
as you woke up this morning.
I don't even use a pillow anymore.
You would.
He just sleeps on the ground.
I can see that.
Actually, I want to be able to just sleep on the ground.
No mattress?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm close.
He wants to
Because then I
raw
could be
dog
anywhere
it.
in the world at any time and be fine.
He wants
What
to
does
raw
that
dog
mean? You can be anywhere in the world at any time.
It means I don't need anything.
Are you like jumping universes? Have you heard of that phenomenon? Shifting, is it called? Does anyone else know?
Reality shifting. I interviewed reality shifters.
Is that what you're doing when you're laying on the ground?
No, I'm sleeping.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I'm shifting reality in my head to a dream.
That's true.
Yeah.
Can you sleep on this floor?
I don't know if I'm there yet. I'm
You
close.
think you're gonna
What's
get
different?
there?
What's
Yeah.
different about this floor versus your floor?
Because I have a rug at my place.
So it isn't just the floor. You do have some type of cushion.
There's some limitation. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll get through it.
What's the end goal? To like sleep on like just a jagged rock?
No, the goal is
be
whenever
able
I'm tired, I can just lay on the ground and sleep.
Whenever you're tired, just wherever you may be in the world,
Yes.
you're like, this seems like a good time to take a nice
No, but
little
if
nap.
I'm in
Flat
the
back. You know
airport-
he's doing flat back. He's thinking about his posture.
Oh,
Like-
actually, yeah, definitely on
Yep.
my back.
On your back.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
With his
or
mouth
do you
guard.
guys head sideways.
It varies. It varies. Head forward, head side. That's all my options.
Wow.
So you're
Yeah.
not a side sleeper.
I used to be, but it was at my shoulders. Not worth it.
I get that. I hear sleeping on your left side is better for like digestion. Like
Isn't just sleeping on your back the best though for
Yeah.
your
And it
posture?
prevents wrinkles because if your face is like on a pillow
sure,
get
I've heard that.
True.
in a lopsided face.
Yeah. The issue for me is just like post nasal drip.
Right. Which you just, yeah.
Yeah. So
I heard you had post nasal drip
I got that P and D, you know,
dripping down your throat.
Wow.
just dripping all day.
At Devon Clock, which cast or crew member eats the weirdest lunch?
I don't want to lunch shame.
Okay.
I had somebody in mind, but I don't want to lunch shame.
I have someone in mind who has made jokes about this lunch before.
But I'd say, I guess the one that I could think of that I don't think is lunch shaming is Luke.
Oh, true. Luke comes to mind as well. I was thinking of Tommy's turkey block,
Well,
which
I
he
was-
has made fun of on.
I was
Your
gonna
Eat
say
It.
Tommy, but I don't want to. But he's got like a set plan, you know.
Yeah, he also. I don't
It's
even
like-
know if he eats that anymore, but he used to just come in with like a
Yeah,
block of
it's
turkey,
like a block of ground turkey and like broccoli.
which Luke does with a block of tofu. Lots of blocks of protein in this office.
Yeah, it's
What I'm
very-
thinking of isn't necessarily weird. It's kind of cool when I go into the kitchen at lunch and someone's just full on making something on the stove.
I know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like,
It
that's
is always
badass.
very cool of them
yeah.
because we have a full kitchen.
I'm
Why
just
not?
like, protein bar. Like, what's the fastest
Right.
thing I could grab to go?
And there's people making
And they're just standing there
full
making
course
something on
meals.
the stove.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
Speaking of lunch, at Connor with a Nora 613 asks, Ian, has anyone sat with you at lunch yet?
Yeah, did telling that story publicly make it so more people sat with you, or did it
No.
make people feel weirder about
It just made people aware of the issue.
So now they're
I would say they sit with
so
you.
now they're
no?
laughing at you from afar while you're still alone, but now they're aware of it.
I'd say like it just made everyone like very like aware of the fact that nobody sits next to me, and so now people will be like, "Ha no one sit next to you, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah,
And then they don't.
no, never
That's not true because
Last
I
time I was here,
literally,
I saw
yeah,
people sitting around you.
around, but not next to me."
I literally after we shot that like sat next to you at lunch, and was like,
Generally-
"Look it, I'm sitting next to
Generally,
you."
if you see people next to me, it's because they were already sitting there and I sat down next to them.
Well, beggars can't be choosers.
So the other day when we had the all hands meeting, I specifically know that you were surrounded by a ton of people,
You
but I
were.
didn't see who sat first.
But at
Did
the all
you
hands,
sit-
but at the all hands meeting, every seat is taken.
Okay,
So,
that's true.
it's
so you're
kind of
saying
like
if there's an open
compulsory.
seat, it's gonna be next to
If
you.
there's an open seat, it will be next to me.
Wait, I will say, right before we shot this, I walked into the lobby and everyone was in the cafeteria area, and Ian was sitting alone.
Well, granted, that was because I COVID tested.
Oh,
so
okay.
I didn't want to be near people until I knew that I tested negative.
That's fair.
So that was a safety thing.
Okay, but I think people do sit with you more now.
So we talk about
Maybe
breaking
a
the
little.
law.
Okay.
But now we're talking about breaking your heart because no one's sitting next to you at
Yeah.
lunch.
Yeah.
Even me, I'm leaving room for God right here between us.
I know. It's so sad.
Yeah. Even I won't sit next to you on the same couch.
That's fair.
That's messed up.
2
isn't
feet
it?
apart. You know the song.
I've heard it before.
Last question.
Uh-huh.
At CDog64290, NFT son or astrology daughter?
Sorry, what the did you
Oh,
say?
definitely astrology daughter.
NFT son or astrology daughter?
Yeah, it's a simple question.
Is that I am the son or daughter,
if-
or
No.
I'm having
If
the
you
son or
had
daughter?
one, which would you prefer?
Yeah.
Prefer, or what will it be?
Which
No,
would you prefer?
Astrology.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. NFT son.
Because they're both weird.
Astrology has like less chance of like making your child bankrupt.
That's
Also,
true.
Astrology has been around for long enough that we've seen the effects of it.
Right.
NFT, that child, we don't know what might happen
don't
to
know.
that child.
But I'd say like the astrology and NFT community probably does have some overlap.
Really?
I think so.
Are people reading their NFTs to give them insight for the day?
No, I think it's just like they're both kind of like, I don't know, like an alternative kind of like vibe, you know, people that are like operating outside the norms, you know. So it's like people that might be into astrology might be like, yeah, I don't believe in like centralized banking and like, you know, I think it's like, you know, like they're just printing money.
Wait,
and
you
like,
think that's what people in astrology are saying?
no, that's what NFT people are saying.
Oh,
You said
But
astrology.
I think,
yeah. You did.
but I think astrology people have some of this similar, maybe some similar thought patterns.
They're like, oh, these people are trying to get in our head with science. It's all about the stars.
They don't believe in central banking.
Yeah,
Central, yeah, they don't
centralized
believe in
banking.
centralized banking. No, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with
Okay.
this. But astrology daughter,
Yeah.
yeah.
And she can tell you about yourself. She can
That's
help you
easy.
learn more about
yeah, she
yourself.
give me insight about what my day's
Yeah.
gonna be like.
Yeah, I mean, I won't listen to it, but
It'll be fun.
What's
At
your
least it's a
sign?
fun journey.
I'm a Saggy.
I
Is
know
that very Sagittarius of me?
I don't know much about astrology other than like my own stuff, so I don't know what to say to you.
Mm.
Yeah.
So you just ask people what their sign is, and you go, oh.
I will say you are very Virgo
"How do you know?" I thought you said you don't know anything.
because I know
about
other Virgos, and you are very Virgo. Like even the way you answered, like you were like offended by that, very Virgo.
It's called,
Wow. Checks out.
It's called Virgin. That's what Virgo used to be called.
Is it?
And then they had to change it because people were getting offended.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that about your culture.
Yeah.
Wait, Virgo is based off of the constellation that's the Virgin, right?
I thought it was a Scorpion. Oh,
That's
that's
Scorpio.
Scorpio.
I'm glad you're putting that together right now.
Scorpio is the Virgin.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
That was all my question.
Taurus is a bull.
I did know that because I don't like Taurus men.
Aries is
Sorry.
water.
Nope, it's a ram, and I have a of it.
Oh, it is a ram.
Mm-hmm.
Are Sagittarius men cool?
We got one in the room saying,
Oh, but
yeah.
he's a Sagittarius. That's why he's saying that.
I don't.
Alexcina says no.
No.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. That's kind of why I paused.
But that's because you're a Gemini. I don't know.
You're close.
It's Libra. Oh, yeah, of course.
Just
That's
like
what I was gonna
Harry
say.
Styles.
That's the fish.
Aquarius, that's
no,
what I
that's
was
the
gonna
lady with
say.
the water.
I think that an Aquarius is like my soulmate.
Uh-huh, okay.
I think that's
Really.
the sign.
So
I'm
you have a
destined
1
to
in
be
12
with.
chance of finding your soulmate.
You know, the last time we talked
Not bad.
we talked about astrology on content, people got very angry. So, and
But we're for
we
it.
did like an agree to disagree about it, and it got
That's
It
right.
got very messy.
Good. Leave a comment. Leave
Yeah.
10 comments if you disagree with us. In fact, I dare you.
So this is our crime episode. We do not condone crime. I would say if you're going to commit any crimes, make sure they're legal ones.
Yeah. Make
And
sure to
it's not a
ask
crime.
permission. Make sure to ask permission before you commit any crime.
Yeah.
And if they say yes, then it's probably okay.
Before you commit something that you think might be a crime, call your local police department. Ask them, if I do this thing, is this a crime? If they say yes, don't do it. If they say no, f***ing go crazy, bro. Like call them up, be like, is it illegal to eat 5 donuts in one sitting? And then they'll be like, "Why are you asking us that?" And you're like, "I just need to call, the local authority."
It's the only way to find out if something's lawful.
Right.
Yeah.
I had the urge to throw those hot dogs at you guys when you were talking right then.
That makes sense.
Well, you better call the police department and make sure that's not illegal.
I will do that after this.
It sounds like assault to me. Have you ever assaulted somebody?
With a hot dog?
No, just like in general.
No.
You thought this is where she would say that if it was true?
I'm literally just a girl. How would I do that?
I don't know, like
I'm-
maybe you had some like ice skating beef on the rink, and you like slice some
That
girl
would be such
open.
I did
Aries
know
thing to
girls who
do.
lost fingers, and a girl did kick me once.
Lost fingers?
I thought of an incident where I accidentally kicked.
You know a girl that got her finger cut off?
I know a few.
Thank you so much for listening to us and our crimes. Please don't call the cops and don't commit any crimes yourself.
Only lawful crimes.
Only lawful crimes. Love you.
Oh.
Bye.